Wanna be Ryan the Great, and today we are reacting to the NFC and AFC wildcard games that happened yesterday. As you guys do know, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Seattle Seahawks 41-23, and the Jacksonville Jaguars defeated the Los Angeles Chargers 31-30 in a historic comeback win, and we're going to be reacting to these games. But before we react to these games, guys, make sure you subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my Brotherly and the Great vlogs. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Cod Great, and also make sure you follow me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the video. So we will start off with the NFC wildcard game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I'm looking around, and I'm seeing that some people are a little concerned about San Francisco going into the next round. I don't think there's really, major concern. I understand they were down at halftime and it got outscored 17-6 in the second quarter, but I just don't think there's really reason to worry. I mean, they outscored Seattle 25-6 in the second half, with 18 points coming in the fourth quarter, Brock Purdy threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Absolutely beautiful. Christian McCaffrey doing his thing once again. 15 carries, 119 yards, 7.9 yards per carry. Absolutely beautiful. Deebo Samuel, no limitations on his play. 6 receptions, 133 yards, and a touchdown. Other than that, there really was not much there. Ayuk did have a good first half, but was non-existent in the second half. Against, better teams, I'd say, like maybe Minnesota and Philadelphia. We could focus a little more on Philadelphia in this video, or for San Francisco. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But, Ayuk was didn't have any effect in the second half, Jennings, he had 2 catches for 41 yards, Kittle, 2 catches for 37 yards. They had okay games, but if they're going to have a farther playoff run, then they're going to have to have more guys step up. It can't really just be Deebo Samuel, but they got the job done. It is what it is. But I will say the Eagles are, how do I say it? They are the best second quarter team in football. They have scored the most points in the second quarter than any team has scored in any quarter in the NFL right now. So if you're going to score 6 points in the second quarter, the Eagles can jump out and get a lead on you. So I don't know. But San Francisco, they can now wait. The odds are that they will face Minnesota. Do I think they will be facing Minnesota? No, I do. I think they'll be facing the winner of Tampa and Dallas, because I think that the Giants are going to beat the Vikings today. Bottom line, I'd say for San Francisco, play better in the first half, and that's pretty much it. And the defense was great. The only quarter they didn't do well in, once again, was the second quarter. But also, another complaint I do have before we move on. Purdy had some bad miscommunication with the receivers. I know that he passed 18 for 30. That's a great completion percentage. He had a 131.5 rating. But there was some miscommunication with the receivers. I know there was one play in the red zone. I think it was in the first quarter when Jennings was running a slant and Purdy wanted him to run a curl. There was a lot of those communications on routes. I think they do need to clean that up. I do have confidence that they will. So, if they could just figure that out, they'll be unstoppable. But an 11-game winning streak for San Francisco? they are hot. Next game we move on to is the Chargers versus the Jaguars. Now, listen. At halftime, I just thought I was going to have to, I was streaming this game, so I thought I was just going to have to, wing it, and just, during commercials and all that, I was just going to have to figure out something to talk about and maybe do it during the broadcast, because I was like, oh, God damn it, this is not going to be a good stream. One of the better streams I'm going to do, one of the more exciting streams to NFL playoffs, is going to be boring in the first one. But for content's sake, thank God that the Jaguars came back. For Brandon Staley's job's sake, that is not a good thing that they came back at all. Brandon Staley, I think he's done as the Chargers head coach. I think that's the writing on the wall. I think everybody kind of knows that. I assume they want to bring in Sean Payton, and he is working out in LA right now with Fox, so I would assume that he would maybe want to stay in LA and join the Los Angeles Chargers, but that's a different subject for another day. In the first half, the Chargers did amazing. They scored 27 points. The defense was great. They got 4 interceptions. This guy, what was his face? Samuel, he was amazing. It was probably his best game of his career. It was baiting Lawrence into interceptions. He jumped in front of everything. He was the more aggressive player. He played absolutely amazing in the first half. Lawrence played awful. It just could have been because of nerves, but I do always say that after the first quarter, nerves should be completely gone. But that wasn't the case until the second half. Lawrence did not his best game, 28-47, 288 yards, 4 touchdowns with 4 interceptions. It could have been better. And only with a rating of 70.2, but I don't even know what Herbert's was. 84.7, okay. But ETN, he had a great game. They actually listened to me. They stacked up on carries with ETN. He had 20 total carries for 109 yards and 5.5 yards per carry. I think at the end of the first half, he was averaging 5.9 yards per carry, and they still were throwing the ball with Lawrence. They actually stacked him up on carries. I think he had 14 in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. Thank God they did that, 'cause that was very instrumental in their comeback victory. And then the receivers also stepped up in the second half. And Evan Ingram, 7 receptions, 493 yards, and a touchdown. Christian Kirk, he was non-existent in the first half at all. 8 receptions, 78 yards, and 1 touchdown. Zay Jones, 8 receptions, 74 yards, also a touchdown. Marvin Jones Jr., 3 receptions, 29 yards, and a touchdown. So everybody kind of did something. It's good that everybody got a touchdown. I do want more of a step up from Marvin Jones Jr. He's supposed to be one of their best playmakers. I expect more than 29 yards if they're going to beat Kansas City, who I do ultimately believe that they will be facing. They're gonna need a lot more than 29 yards from one of their top playmakers to beat Kansas City. But on the other side, for the Los Angeles Chargers, this is a devastating loss. I'm not gonna lie, but to get outscored 24-3 in the second half is not the best look for the future. Herbert, I thought he had a great first half. I don't remember his exact stats, but the second half he was all right, I'd say. They weren't able to convert in Jaguars territory. I thought that was a big issue. He ended the game with 25 for 43, 273 yards, and a touchdown pass. The first half I thought was great. The second half I didn't think was amazing. Obviously nobody was good in the second half. Eckler, not one of his better games at all. 13 carries for 35 yards, 2.7 yards per carry. The only counter argument you could say is that he had 2 touchdowns, but those are when the Chargers had the short field after the interceptions from the Jaguars. So that's really the only reason he did have the 2 touchdowns. Joshua Kelly, he also had 7 carries. He averaged 2.9 yards per carry. Not the best look for him either. And then in the passing department, I do think that Mike Williams being out with the back injury definitely played a role. He was number 1 in receiving this season for the Chargers. But Gerald Everett, he had a great game. 6 receptions, 109 yards, and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 6 receptions, 61 yards. Other than that, really nothing special. Palmer, 2 receptions, 31 yards. Parham, who I thought kind of stepped up to the plate on third down conversions. 4 receptions, 23 yards. Carter, only 2 receptions for 17 yards. He did get injured in the second half. That could have played an instrumental role in them losing. I'm not entirely sure, though. I don't think so, because there definitely is a lot more playmakers. And that's really it in the passing department. The defense was great in the first half. They just couldn't figure it out in the second half. They're playing terrible. Also, something stupid was Joey Bosa. What are you doing? You're screaming at the ref, slamming your helmet twice on the ground, especially the second time he did. You have an unnecessary, unsportsmanlike conduct. Just throw your helmet on the sideline. Why you got to do it on the field, man? All you got to do is run to the sideline and throw your helmet on the ground. There's nothing. If you want to throw your helmet, do it on the sideline. You don't got to do it on the field, bro. Yeah, stupid play on Joey Bosa. Probably one of his worst games. Probably one of his worst seasons. I mean, he was injured the whole year. But I mean, I think that this is obviously I think this is the end of Brandon Staley's run as a Charger. But I do think I don't. This season was obviously not a success in my opinion because this team had a lot more potential to go farther. They did have a better record than the Jaguars coming into this game. I expected the Chargers to win this game. I'm not gonna lie. But I do think this season was good in the fact that they were able to get guys like Palmer and DeAndre Carter to step up to become, caliber receivers. I mean, last year with Washington, Carter had 296 yards. This season, he had a career high 538 yards. And Palmer, I mean, last season with the Chargers, he had 353 yards. This season, he had, in his sophomore year, he had 769 yards. So it's good that these guys were able to step up to the plate without Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in there for some time of the season. I mean, I expect them to come back with pretty much the same team. I expect them with the whole defense. All of their playmakers are locked in. Justin Herbert will obviously be coming back. I'm not sure who at skill position who is heading into free agency, but they should be coming back with the same receiving core, and this team could do something, I just think, with a new coach, because Brandon Staley has not been able to get the job done when he is in there. I think they're going to bring in someone who can, and that is Sean Payton. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Tonight we will be streaming the Ravens versus Bengals game. We will start streaming at 8:10 Eastern time, so make sure you guys are there to watch my commentary, my beautiful commentary, by the way. So make sure you subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my Brotherly and the Great blogs. Go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Cod Great. Video out tomorrow, actually on Ryan the Cod Great. I'm pretty sure we'll see. But go and follow me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. I don't know why I forgot my outro. But Ryan the Great out. Peace.